Hi everyone. So back by popular demand, I wasn't planning on meal prepping, but then I forgot I had to meal prep. So back by popular demand is a quick, healthy taco salad spin that I do. Again, me, Kim. You guys should be used to me by now, right? So the first thing is, let me go through the ingredients. Everything that I'm doing today will be in the description box, especially for the homemade Greek seasoning. So for my homemade Greek seasoning here, it'll probably yield you, I don't know, 4 or 5 tablespoons. And pardon the appearance, I literally just got done doing a bike ride. New trail wasn't the best idea. I had to put my hands in the fate of drivers on a road, so that's really scary. The first thing I want to go through, because it is a little bit, if you want to make it, so with, oh, it smells so good. Anyway, is homemade Greek seasoning. In the Greek seasoning, we've got basil, garlic powder. You can get Greek oregano or just use regular oregano. Those 3 ingredients, it's about 2 teaspoons. Then you also want to add black pepper, ground cinnamon, dill. So this is all dried. They're all dried. Marjoram, which is kind of like the sister, the cousin of oregano. Parsley and Rosemary. And those ingredients, the black pepper, cinnamon, dill, marjoram, again, I don't know how to say that name, parsley and rosemary, you're looking about 1 teaspoon. And then finally, a half a teaspoon of both ground nutmeg and ground thyme. Ground is the key word. You don't want to use thyme that has seeds. You want to use ground thyme and ground nutmeg, which I think most of us already have ground nutmeg. That, my friends, is your Greek seasoning. Now on to my concoction of what I do. All right, so first I went through, you can see the photos there with the ingredients. That I was using. So I have my Greek seasoning. I'm adding, in addition, my black beans and whole corn. The reason I add a lot of protein to what I eat is because my workout has gone up so much. And so like today for the bike ride, I'm burning like 550 calories. I have to make sure not only with the lean turkey, but I'm also bringing in extra protein. So Garbanzo beans, black beans, navy beans, that's it. So there you go. And then you saw my 2 romaine lettuces that I'm going to be making. You can use iceberg, whatever. I know there's more healing properties, so they say, in the romaine, so I will lean towards that. And then of course we got our Ken's Simply Greek vinaigrette. But again, if you don't want a Greek flavoring to this, you might not want to make that, and you might not want to have this. But if you do want that Greek kind of flair, I love the Simple vinaigrette. It's probably healthier than what else is out there. You're looking at 120 calories, which is about 2 tablespoons. Sodium is relatively low for a dressing. It's 0 sugars, 0 added sugars. There is 1 gram of carbs. So really, really good, the Simply Greek. Then of course I've got my feta cheese. I normally will do I will normally do regular, but I bought this. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna let this thing go to waste. So I recommend fresh garlic, absolutely, but I need to get rid of this. And as you can see, I've got a long way to go. And then I've got my concoction of fresh veggies that I'm also going to be adding into the salad. Cucumber, you can use English, which is seedless, regular cucumber, and then de-seed, whatever is budget friendly for you. Do celery. The reason I'm adding some of this is it was kind of left over from meal prepping, kind of like my hodgepodge of tomatoes, and I didn't want them to go bad. So the cucumber, the red onion, celery, the tomato, this is a beefsteak tomato, and then a blend of cherry tomatoes. I'm really not a fan. I don't like the taste of cherry tomatoes. So I usually have to get like sugar bombs that are relatively sweeter, or the mixed colorful blend. So anyway, and then behind me would be the ground turkey. Now I cook my I fry it up in a pan using a wok. I don't use a regular frying pan. I think a wok cooks evenly. Plus, I'm not a fan of my stove, so I need it to burn evenly. So with that being said, I don't think I need to show anyone how to cook ground turkey. But there are some things that I'm going to show you maybe how to prep to make it easier. So in case you don't know, I was in the restaurant industry for over 13 years. Hated food when I first started. Had no idea even how to cook an egg when I first started with Cracker Barrel. So I was 28 years old. I had no clue. I was like, crack an egg. And then, you know, my cook, we would do it with the one hand. I still can't master that. And then as the years have gone on, you know, being married, of course, I wanted to make sure that I learned how to cook. But I learned to love food. And that's why I use my hands. You always want to feel the texture of your food, what it feels like. Does something feel slimy, or like that one I need to actually throw away? It was a little soft, but because these tomatoes are really on their tail end. But you know, you want to touch your food. It's okay. It's your food, you know. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get that turkey started, and then I'm going to show you guys what I am doing here. So thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye. I'll be back. Not bye-bye. I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay, so the one thing I want to say, this is the ground turkey that I'm ready to fry up in the pan. I learned this from Gordon Ramsay. So I use shakers. But if you don't, you always want to hold your seasoning up. So here's the turkey. It's literally sitting on my counter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the seasoning up, and it's going to drop down on the turkey. So if I'm holding it up, it's going to layer itself on the turkey. And then if you have a shaker like this, you'll see these little notches. Mine are at the bottom. Yours could be at the top. So if you want to, which I do it lower because this is some really strong black pepper, but these notches, so technically the one that it's on right now, that's going to be like if you just want to lightly season something, like you want to use a side of salt and pepper. Then if I turn it, the other side here, right there, that's going to be a little thicker. So as you can see, then when I'm drawing that out, the seasoning, the pepper is a little thicker. Then the same thing here with the salt. I'm going to hold that up so it evenly coats the turkey. That's why we have kitchen counters, so we can go ahead and get that. But I wanted to show you that first. That is what I do. I'm a little heavy on the pepper. I'll clean it up and get it ready to go in the frying pan. Okay, so now what I've done is I've cooked the ground beef in the wok. Again, the wok just, it makes it even. The cook is great. All right, so I've got my turkey draining, getting all that excess out. And also I want it to cool because we are making a salad. So let me just give you guys a couple of tricks of the trade here. The first thing you want to do is make sure whether if it's something, if you're meal prepping, if you're making this instantaneously and you're going to have a crowd of people eating this wonderful turkey, taco turkey salad, I shouldn't call it that. It's probably a Greek turkey salad. Then of course you don't have to worry about all these little steps. But if you're meal prepping, one thing with a salad that really stinks is it'll get soggy really quick. So if you're cutting your own lettuce, make sure that you're draining it. Like for instance, my tomatoes are washed and then now spick and span dry. Now what I'm also going to show you is when I cut this tomato is going to have excess liquid, so I'm also going to want to drain that. So I'm going to show you how to prep some of this stuff. In case you don't know, I'll show you some easy tricks of the trade. Always make sure you have a decent knife, decent cutting board, whatever. And then I'm going to go grab my bowl right here, and I'm going to go ahead and get this party started. Okay. All right, so I got my big old bowl here because I'm mixing the salad in here, and then I will meal prep it in my portion things. Then when you get to the ends here, you can just hold it. You don't want a lot of this cucumber to go to waste because you can use everything on the cucumber. All right, so now what we're going to do is I have my cutting board, and I'm going to show you, I'll do the easy ones first. So I'm getting that ready because when I slice my tomato, I immediately want to put the dicing that I'm doing on here to get that extra moisture out. So I'm going to just show you the easy ones first. So again, I had to feel these because I know that they're on their last leg. So here's your little cherry tomato, grape tomatoes, whatever you want to use. simply just take your knife, and I'm just cutting it right down the middle. And I'm also going to put those tomatoes on that as well. But I am putting it down, seed side down, to gain up some of that moisture. So anyway, we're just going to simply cut these cherries, and I'll be back. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is, again, these are only pre because I needed them for another recipe. So what I do is, because I don't like those dry ends, I'm just going to simply turn them and then cut off those dry ends. I throw everything in my sink because I have a garbage disposal, and therefore my trash doesn't smell. Okay, so from here, easy way to cut is, let me just show you that real quick. You want your finger in front, two behind, so it kind of looks like that. So therefore you're using the knuckle piece to slice. So right now I've got my celery done, I've got my cherry tomatoes done, so I'm simply going to take the celery and I'm going to put it on here with the tomatoes that I did. Next is our cucumber. Easy way to do this is you want to take it halfway point, cut straight through the cucumber, so now you have two sides. Okay, then you want to take this, you want to get it as even as you can in the cucumber, and now you have another half. And then from this half, the way I do it is I cut it in thirds. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut in thirds. So now I've got enough chunks, and now I'm just going to go in and slice the cucumber. Now we've got the onion. I'm going to show you guys a little trick on how to, I don't do slice. I really am not a big raw onion fan, so most of this that I'm going to cut, I'm not using it all anyway. Easiest way to dice your onion. As you can see, I still have that knob left on the onion. So this is the half piece of another onion that I used for another recipe. So all you want to do, okay, is your onion should look just like that. Okay, you're going to cut that onion in half. If it was whole, you're going to cut that onion in half. And then from here, it's where your little fancy schmancy little thing that I just showed you is going to come in. You're going to slide this down like so, cutting through that onion. So what you're doing here is you're making little slices in that onion. So now you've got the onion, you want to push it back together. Now from here, you're going to take your knife, you're going to turn it down at an angle, and you're going to slide in here, make one cut here, making sure to grab all of those edges. Okay? And then you're going to bring it in up here again. And then at the top, you're going to do one more cut. Now from here, you simply take your knife and you would use that knuckle to help you guide that knife. Diced onion. Next thing, the tomato, we're going to cut that kind of like we just did with the onion. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this side of the tomato and we're going to slice that. We're going to remove it. Okay? Now you should have that part of the tomato. Okay? We're not going to lay the flat side down. We're going to lay the other side of the tomato just like that. And then from here, we're going to do the same method that we use for the onion. Okay, we're going to slide it down like so, holding that tomato in place. And then from here, we're going to do the same, but this way. So now you should have these little julienne type pieces on your tomato. So see, you should have these little long strings. Now from here, all I do is now I'm simply just going to put it in these things that are awkward, I'm putting to the side. It's a nice little pile, and I'm just going to kind of cut through those. And I'm just going to slide all that paper towel. I'm spreading it out, and I'm going to let the paper towel soak up the moisture. So now you got a really nice base going with a mixture of the leafy part, and then the hearts of romaine. The tomatoes that I sliced, the smidgen of red onion, and the celery. Okay, so for the Greek seasoning, what you want to do is when you prep it and then when you go to use it, you do want to, I'm not using a whisk, but you do want to take a whisk. First of all, when you're prepping it, you want to whisk it. Okay, just make sure you do it over your sink or something. But then when you're ready to use it, just give it a good mix around. You guys have no idea how good that smells. This is what goes into the ground turkey along with the garlic. I guess I should have said that, huh? So my turkey feels good. I'm just taking the back of my hand, touching it. It's cool to the touch. And now from here, I feel pretty confident in my veggies right now. My can of beans and my can of corn. And now I'm gonna add that to the bowl. Our mixture of the salad. Everything there is in this bowl. I'm literally taking 2 dinner-sized forks, okay? And all I'm doing is I'm going down the side of the bowl and I am just gonna kind of lift that up. See how everything is kind of falling? And that's what I'm gonna do for right now, just to get those ingredients mixing in with the lettuce. Okay, so now you should have some of the lettuce coming up to the top, the other ingredients going down to the bottom. And there is a method to my madness, I promise. So what I did is I grabbed another bowl. I learned this trick while I was working in the restaurant industry. If you are making a pre-made salad and you need to kind of shake everything up together. So what I'm gonna do is I have everything kind of at the base, the heavy ingredients at the bottom of that bowl. I'm now gonna take my ground turkey and I am going to put that right there. Okay, and from here, before I add any cheese or dressing, I'm gonna take that other bowl. I'm gonna hold this tight though, guys, okay? You gotta watch what you do, and I got a little lip right there, but that'll be fine. My hand is over that spot, and I'm just gonna shake it to where now it's hitting the other side of that bowl, okay? And you're giving it a good spin, because once you do that, now you've got it mixed good. From here, all you're gonna do is now scoop this out and put it in whatever your meal prepping. And that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'll show you the final touch. All right, so what I have here is my hodgepodge of salad bowls. I love these greenies, by the way. Years ago, my mom got me hooked on these. These greenies here can store your vegetables a lot longer. And that's usually what I try to use for the salad, but I have other things stored in them, so I can't. But anyway, they're called greenies. Don't remember the cost. They weren't cheap, but they weren't expensive either. So anyway, you can go online and you can get a whole bunch of these. They come in all different sizes and depth. Okay, so there we go. That's it. The dressing is not going on when you meal prep. Let me know if you guys use that trick too with mixing up the salad. I think I would like to know if you guys use that trick. And I love cooking. I think cooking is fun. It's always been fun to me. Always. Okay. So now we've got our feta. My little tablespoon. And I'm gonna take a tablespoon of feta and I'm gonna sprinkle it on the top. Okay, my friends, that right there, taco Greek salad, meal prep. So again, if you're serving this at a party or for dinner or whatever, then you go ahead and add the dressing. So I really hope that you guys got something out of this today. So again, if you go down to the description box, I'll let you know how to make the Greek seasoning, and sort of a step-by-step, you know, I mean, it's really not that difficult. Again, we're making it Greek style. I'm sure I'll get comments about how you've changed it. So let me know what you do, and that would be great. So anyway, guys, until then, I won't be meal prepping again next weekend. So, because I'm good, I write everything out of what I make. So, and I prep for a couple of weeks on payday. And that way I don't have to cook when I get home. I just simply take it out and it's ready to go. But now it's time for me to clean up and enjoy the rest of my Sunday here. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. So these things come in really handy. I put 2 sides of dressing, so I'll use half and then the other half for the other.